This word et is literally in the heart of our verse, and it does not translate, but it must be there, otherwise the whole verse will lose momentum. This word is built from the first and the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. You probably already know what I'm referring to. Thus said the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. In the first and the last chapter of the book of Revelation, Jesus says that he is the Alpha and Omega, beginning at the end, first and last. We could also say that he is Aleph and Tav. I don't know about you, but I can see Jesus Christ exactly in the middle of the first verse of the Bible. Let me quote just one more verse to show you that Jesus is that essential link. For there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Grammatically speaking, Aleph Tav is actually not a word but a particle. In a Hebrew language, particle used to mark the definitive direct object of a transitive verb. Even though this is the shortest word in our verse, it's not without meaning. Quite the contrary. Alphabetical pictograms for these two letters are also very interesting because they are simply prophetic. What do you think it would happen if we would join these two pictograms and meanings together? Aleph means leader, strength, hooks or God, and Tav means covenant mark or sign. Aleph Tav literally means strength of the covenant. Strength and the covenant could also be seen as Jesus on the cross, or serve and die. One more thing. If we would look at the 7 words from Genesis 1:1 as the 7 days of creation, Aleph Tav would be in the 4th day. Now let's convert 1 day for 1,000 years and look at Genesis 1:1 as a timeline. Then we could see the analogy between Jesus Christ first coming to the earth and our verse. Our word is number 4 in that verse, and Jesus came in the era starting 4,000 years from the creation. God's timing isn't just good, it's perfect. Have you noticed that Aleph Tav is also in the 6th word of our verse? Does that mean that Jesus Christ's second coming will happen in the 6th millennium, which is just around the corner? Well, we will see. Only the Father knows this. What is also interesting about these two letters is that they represent blessing and covenant relationship with God. We can see that, for example, in the life of Jacob and Esau. We find that both Jacob and Esau had this Aleph Tav in front of their names in the beginning of their life together. But the last time we see the Aleph Tav used in front of Esau's name is in Genesis 27:1, just before Isaac wanted to bless his son. Even though Esau's name is used another 78 times in the Torah, the Aleph Tav continues to be only in front of Jacob's name and not Esau's. The reason Esau has no Aleph Tav in front of his name after Genesis 27:1 is because the covenant blessing of the birthright given for Messiah was removed from him. Esau's dismissal of Yahweh's designed purpose was his life resulted in that purpose being passed to his brother Jacob. There is also a relation between Aleph and Tav and Urim and Thummim in terms of their starting letters. Urim starts with Aleph and Thummim starts with Tav. These Urim and Thummim were used by the high priest as a divination tool to answer the questions placed by the people to God directly. Since Aleph Tav is considered to be a Messiah himself, we can justly say that Jesus was that judge.